Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to episode number 3, the Young and Hungry FireCast with my homeboy, Jay Azeltine. Jay, what's been up since the last FireCast, bro?
What's up, Zach? Episode 3, about to bring some fire. I'm excited about the
Boom!
show. Man, I've been crazy busy, which is the only way I would have it. I mean, if I'm not busy, I get into a slump mentally. So I've got to stay busy. I always got to be doing something. But things are well, man. In real estate, I closed a deal today. Actually, it closes later today.
Oh, I
Pre-signed
see you,
yesterday.
Jay.
Which for a real estate agent, if any of you guys are real estate agents, you guys know that's payday. Usually takes 30 to 45 days once it goes into contract to close. So today's payday for your boy.
Hell yes. So, dude, that means right after the photo shoot, it's time to go party, right?
Yeah, boy. And I had a meeting last weekend with a potential new listing. So things are going well in real estate, fitness wise. Training's going really well. I've been trying to put on a little bit more weight because Zach and I have a shoot coming up in September. It got pushed back till September 15th. So in the meantime, I'm trying to hold my weight up a little bit more. I was sitting around like 168, 169 every day, and my numbers just were just dog shit. Like we talked about last time, the positioning is so much different when you're at a lower weight or just different weight in general. So I'm trying to get up to around like 171, 172, and I think that's going to help my squat numbers a lot and my deadlift. So over the past week, as my weight's gone up, my squat's been feeling way better, in the mid 300s on a daily basis, which feels good. Not back to where I was yet, but it's feeling better positioning wise. Deadlifts are feeling really good. In a good groove training wise. The online business, man, coming along very well. Had a record month last month. I think I'm on pace to maybe double that this month. So that's
Oh,
always
shit, Jay.
that's always a good thing, right? And
Dude, Jay, let's cover a little bit on the online business real quick. Remember
yeah,
when you just
definitely.
first started, I was like, Jay, right now, man, don't wait, don't write the programs, just start right now, and you jumped right
hmm
into it. And you've been freaking killing it ever since. You sent me that your guys' progress pic the other
Yeah,
day. Man, you guys are
my boy
killing it,
Chris
dude.
Nardi. Shout out to Chris. I know he follows the show.
If you're trying to get lean, Jay, you are the man for it, bro.
I appreciate it, Zach. Yeah, you were the main reason though that I got into it so quickly. Like I saw what you were doing. I saw that you were killing it. You were helping all these people. And I was like, man, I really want to get into that. I mean, I've got a pretty good knowledge base. I've been working with elite people for a while now. And I was like, man, how can I get into this? Like, how do I start getting shit set up so I'm ready a few months down the road? And you're like, bro, just jump into it. Make a post on Instagram tonight. You said it was probably it's been probably about 3 months now. You're like, make a post tonight. Say you're doing online training now. I mean, you've got the knowledge base. It's not like you're not prepared for it. You're like, just fucking jump into it and see what happens. So I did that. I
And
made
look
the
how many
post.
people you impacted just by
Yeah.
like, dude, that guys, that's like a perfect life lesson. If you already have the knowledge base and the know-how, go. Just jump into
Just
it.
jump
Start
into the
making
fire, man,
you'll
for
learn you'll
sure.
learn as you go. And look how many people you've impacted so far that they could have been still living that same life they're living, but
hmm
instead, they're living such more of a positive and confident life because you jumped right into it,
Oh,
man.
dude, it's
That's how you
so
change a
awesome
life.
being able to help people, man. Like I honestly, like I'll see these people change, not just physically. Like it's apparent that they're changing physically, but mentally, you can see some of them just changing so much. Like their self confidence is going up. They're just complete. Their
Just
just
phone call to
demeanor.
phone call, right?
Yeah, their demeanor is just so much different. So in that regard, it's so awesome being able to help people, and we have our weekly calls, and you can just see them change every single week. But yeah, I think going back to the just jumping into it, man, people really have the whole old adage paralysis by analysis. I think that's super real. People think about things way too much. They should just, if you're ready, if you feel like you're ready at all, just hop into it. Learn things as you go, like Zach and I are right now as entrepreneurs. We didn't go to fucking business school. We're just in it. We're in the fire right now. We're learning on a daily basis. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna learn from them. But yeah, in general though, things are
Dude,
going really
speaking
well.
of speaking of business school, I did a semester and failed, man. And now I have freaking 4 businesses that are prospering. So, fuck school.
Fuck school for sure.
Hey, real
Absolutely.
quick, Jay, what are you doing? I've been following your carb life a little bit, and I'm trying not to do it because I don't get diabetes.
Diabetes.
But what are you doing to gain a little bit of weight right now? You just adding more carb life?
Yep.
You adding more calories? What are you doing?
Yeah, so as you guys know, I'm on anabolic fasting. I've added in an extra meal. I'm doing a few meals a day, but I've added in an extra meal in between my first 2 big meals. So my first 2 big meals are usually like the standard beef or chicken or some sort of meat with a bunch of veggies and maybe some nuts or some avocado or some sort of fat. So between those meals, I've added in a protein shake with flaxseed, a pretty good amount of flaxseed, a couple servings probably, and then a spoon of peanut butter, which isn't a crazy amount of food, but I mean, it's enough. It's a couple hundred calories, It's a good amount of protein, a good amount of fat. And then also I've kind of bumped up my nightly carb life, which you guys see on Instagram all the time. And that's just part of my meal. I usually do a bowl of ice cream or some bananas on top
That's
of
just
that.
half of it.
Yeah, I've got issues. But so I've really upped my calories. I mean, I'm probably up 500 calories from what I was doing a couple weeks ago, and it's definitely helped. It's gotten me. I mean, I've added on a little bit of fat, not fat. I would say it's more so water, but the increase in weight's definitely helped.
I have another question. If you can answer this, I'm not sure if this is gonna for the Corey G site or not. But is it possible if a guy was doing an anabolic fast or intermittent fasting, if he wanted to get a little bit more in by opening his window up of eating a little bit more and closing his window of fasting, would that work the same?
So basically, expanding the hours that you eat each day, or bringing them in.
Expanding them. So basically, I wouldn't be fasting so long. I might be fasting instead of maybe 12 hours or whatever, and 10 hours or whatever.
I think it all comes down to the person. I mean, everyone's so much different. I've been doing a lot of reading on intermittent fasting, and it basically just says like it just depends on the person, just like anything else. Some people may benefit a lot more from doing 12-hour fasts every day, whereas other people I think are going to benefit more from doing 16-hour, and then other people may even benefit the most from doing 18 or 20 hours. So it really just comes down to experimenting, figuring out what works best for you, and just going from there, tracking the results. And yeah, man, it's just experiment. Use your body as kind of like a science project, and just figure out
Dude,
what
love
works
it.
best for you in specific.
So just learn your own body. I dig that.
Exactly, bro. What's been up with you, man? I know you're crushing it. You got like 5-6 businesses going on at once here. So give me a little recap, man. What's been going on the last week?
Running myself dry, bro. No, I'm loving it, man. So even though I have 5, 6 businesses, I'm still enjoying it. Like I enjoy everything I'm doing, so it doesn't really feel like it's even the grind. Like I wake up hyped. Like the other day I was up at 2:55 in the morning, just laying there like, I wish it was 4 so I could like justify.
Mine was just racing.
I was just ready to get up and start working, man. I was ready to get about my day, but it was 2:55 and I went to bed at 12. So 3 hours.
I did not like
Yes.
that a couple nights ago as well, man. It's just like shit just races through your mind, and you just can't slow down. Also, depends on how much caffeine I drank that day too.
Which is usually like 60,000 megs. Dude, so things are going really good, though. I'm taking the next step forward on the Zach Homol Power site. Some of you guys already know about it. It's you might sign up for the newsletter. It's been taking a little bit longer. My guy Mike is the guy building the site out. He has a job, just had a newborn baby, opened a business himself. So the guy's a hustler.
Mike's the fucking
hard.
man.
Dude, Mike is the man, but super authentic guy. Like he's a super good guy, and he's building the site out for me. We're hoping to be done in the next 2 months. I'm kind of pushing the deadline back just because all the things that we had a baby, open a business.
You want to have it ready too, man.
Yeah, that's it. It's a subscription site, kind of like Corey G's, but I'm going to cover more of the powerlifting thing and a little bit more in depth on each lift. I'm going to have all the programming on there, similar to Corey's $9 a month. So I'm super hyped about that, but I started filming content this week. That's why I'm looking to hire an intern. So I end up finding this guy. He actually comes to the gym. His name's Joey. Super good guy. He's part of our Bible study on Wednesday night. And so I hired him. So I hired an intern. I'm pretty pumped about that. He's going to do all my content for me for the site.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to start producing a lot more content on YouTube.
I see you stepping up your game, bro.
Yeah, dude. I got to. The Instagram's sweet. I think a lot of guys get stuff from the Instagram, but it's going to be way better being on YouTube.
From a branding standpoint, I know a lot of people following us they're asking a lot of questions about how do I start building a brand and stuff. And Instagram's a really good driver of traffic to your YouTube. Like that's kind of what I really focus on is a lot of YouTube content. And then you can take small clips. I mean, you could take 30-second to a minute clips from your YouTube video, place them on your Instagram, and you can drive a shitload of traffic to your YouTube. So just a little bit of a tip for anyone trying to build a brand, but go on.
Definitely the brand. That's a great way to brand, dude. On top of that, I'm working on the content, the YouTube content. The gym's doing real good. Dude, we've been averaging at least one new member a day the past 2 weeks here at the gym. So super cool. For guys who do own a gym, a little initiative I gave to my new guys or to my old guys that have been with me the past 3 months since we've been open. I said, if you guys can get 3 people to sign up from now till September 1st. So now I got all these guys at the right? They get a free year membership.
Dope.
So dude, guys are out there like, there's only one of me, right? But I already have 80 members. So if I have 80 people trying to get a free membership.
Essentially a bunch of sales reps for you.
Dude, literally, I just built a sales team.
Yeah.
They're out there, and I have quite a few guys already got a year for free. And it's just building the membership up day in and day out. The day passes are going through the roof.
That's what happens, though, man. When you have a good product like you do, I mean, that's what your gym is. It's a good product.
Dude, it's a good culture.
I
have such a great culture of people here. I can't even express, like, everyone that comes in this gym is like an awesome guy or girl. Like, they want to be here. There are people walk into my gym. It's basically a big garage, essentially, right? A warehouse gym. You walk in, people are like, where's the sauna? I'm like, it is a sauna.
Where's the tanning bed at?
It's 105 degrees in here. This is a sauna. Where's the towel service?
Where's the lunk alarm at so I can set it off for Zach grunting and throwing shit?
Yeah, screaming, yelling man shit all the time. Or people walk in, they're like, dude, I'm home. This is it. This is my place. So it's going great, man. Businesses are going good. I'm going to have the clothing line. Here it is. Ivy Elite Apparel is about to drop this coming week. So here's the Ivy. It's a kind of a play on words. You guys don't like it. I named my gym Iron Valley Barbell because I'm from the Ohio Valley. I have a lot of respect from where I'm from, the blue collar area. So that's why I named my gym Iron Valley. So I'm like, I need a clothing line. We're selling a lot of shirts out of here. I need a website for sure. I have a couple slogans I like to use, win the day, man shit, a couple things. Proof's in the pudding. So I was like, I'm going to come out with a line.
I like that one.
That's a good one, dude. It works. It's like, for real, proof is in the pudding. So I come out with this line. I'm like, IV, I want something with Iron Valley, somehow with Ohio Valley. So me and my girlfriend are pondering some thoughts. By the way, I'm going to give Ashley some credit. She just walked in a second ago. She is the one who named Iron Valley Barbell, Iron Valley Barbell.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude. We were pondering the thoughts, and she's like, when are you going to tell everyone I did that? And I'm like, all right, I'll tell them. I'll tell them on the podcast.
I love it. Props.
She's awesome. Oh, yeah.
That's sick, though, man. I'm hyped for the apparel line. Also, stay tuned for Carb Life Apparel. If you guys follow me on Instagram and you see the food pictures,
shit.
We got some shit in the works. Yes, sir. Here in the next month or two. Hopefully in the next month, 4 to 6 weeks, I'll be dropping the flagship shirts. So stay tuned for that. Absolutely.
I'm pumped about that, dude. I'm about to have a big shirt with a cupcake on it or something. But anyways, so IV came from, Iron Valley, but IV in Roman numerals also stands for 4. So 4 Elite, Iron Valley Elite and 4 Elite. So super dope. The designs are awesome. And I'm hyped to launch that here in the next coming week. So that'll be really cool. That's what I got going on right now, Jay.
That's sick, though, man. You're staying busy. Like I said earlier, man, if you're not busy, I just feel like mentally you can kind of just fall into a slump. If you're anything like me, like that's if I ever get depressed, it's because I'm not busy and I'm not staying just consistent doing stuff. But
dude, firm believer, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. You have to keep just one foot after another, man. Literally, it's easy. You got to keep putting one foot after another. Even if you don't know where you're going, you still have to walk. Like when I moved out to Indianapolis, I knew I wasn't going to be a sales rep forever, but I was moving. I was walking forward out of my comfort zone. I learned so much just from living in a big city. Went from a town of 2,900 people, bro. Everyone's so single-minded.
Yep. I think it comes down to having a vision. You got to have that vision, and then you got to have that North Star, that vision, that big why. You got to know what you want to do 10, 20, 30 years down the road, kind of like a vague idea. Everything, I think shit's going to change. It's hard to have a specific idea of what you're going to do. But if you have that North Star, then you can reverse engineer your life and just take it one day at a time. And eventually, I mean, you're going to get to where you want to be.
Ash, what's up, babe? She's in the house. Hey, dude. What I've been getting these questions all the time about training split. So the guys on the team, they're all on the same sort of training split. Obviously, their accessory work's different, but for the most part, everyone's on the same training split. But I'm interested in what your training split's like right now, Jay. Especially with the show or the show and the photo shoot coming up.
Yes, sir. So I think it really just depends on, for me at least, it just depends on what my goals are at the time. As of right now, I'm trying to put on a lot of size, a lot of bodybuilder muscle. So right now, my splits, I'm trying to hit basically every muscle group twice a week, excluding the legs. Basically, legs I'll hit hard once a week, and then I'll do the squats and lunges probably 4 to 5 times a week. So the legs I'm hitting more than twice a week, but basically everything else, it's pretty much twice a week. So Monday, it's usually chest and back for me. I really like the chest and back together just because of the pump you get. I mean, it's always fucking ridiculous. Sometimes,
dude, you feel thick as fuck.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, you feel like a straight fucking boss. So sometimes I'll throw in and do chest and triceps, pretty rarely, or I'll do just chest by itself and then back by itself the following day. But usually on a standard week, it's chest back Monday. Tuesday is usually shoulders. Wednesday is arms. Thursday is when I do my really heavy leg day / power day where I'll get some sleds in. I'll get some heavy deadlifts, maybe some straight leg deadlifts, squats, of course, and then just some GPP work, maybe some glute ham raise, some reverse hypers, whatever. And then on Friday, I'll go back to chest and back. So again, I'll hit everything twice a week. So Friday, I'll touch on the chest and back again. if I'm still sore from earlier in the week, which is usually rare, I'll take it a little bit easier on Friday and a little bit less weight. And then Saturday, I will combine arms and shoulders because on Sunday I like doing body weight. I like keeping that a pretty easy day. But so I'll do arm,
So you
shoulders
do
on.
train 7 days a week.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, shit, you
we don't
can't do
take days
that,
off.
Jay. You're going to get better. You're going to get better if you keep training 7 days a week.
Exactly. So Sunday's usually a pretty late day, and it's kind of like an active recovery day, but I'm still in the gym. I'm hitting usually pull-ups, either pull-ups, dips, maybe some bodyweight squats, push-ups, usually lunges, and then some abs. So it's a pretty easy day, not usually any kind of weights. I usually take off on squats on Sundays as well as on Friday after a heavy leg day on Thursday, just to get a little bit of recovery in the legs because I'm hitting them so often. But yeah, man, so I think for bodybuilding, I think it really comes down to preference on your splits, but I would say try to hit everything twice a week. It's always worked for me. Everyone's so much different, but
so
that's
for
just
the
what I like to
bodybuilders
do
out
personally.
there, yeah, for sure. For the bodybuilders out there too, do you think it'd be important if if I'm lacking rear delts, I got a show coming up? Would you throw those in? Maybe just on like
that's
your
a really
leg
good
day
point.
or something?
Yeah, that's a very good point. If you have something you're lacking, you can throw it in even more than everything else. So if you have a crazy huge chest, but your back is lacking, maybe you hit back twice a week and you only hit chest once a week, and then you hit everything else twice a week. So I think it really just depends on what you're lacking. If everything's pretty much on the same level, then you can hit everything pretty much the same. But yeah, if you're lacking something, I would say hit that more. If you're lacking traps, then maybe throw in shrugs a couple times a week at the end of your arm workout and then at the end of your leg workout and so forth. So definitely, yeah, stay self-aware of what you're lacking and what you need to work on and add in more.
Yeah, I dig that. That's what I do right now, just for powerlifting. If I know I need more lockout work, I'll just throw in 5 or 6 sets of V-bar push downs at the end of my workout.
Yeah, man, get into your splits because I know it's a little bit more science based with the powerlifting because you're doing percentages and so forth, and you're really trying to hit some crazy numbers. So I think it's a little bit more in depth than the bodybuilding splits.
For sure. So as far as the percentages go, I don't really work off percentages. Everything's 100%, bro. When I go in the gym, it's not about maxing out every day, but if I'm doing 5x5, it's as much as I can do 5x5. It's not like 75% of my current max or 85%.
That's interesting because I know some people are super into percentages and others aren't. So that's interesting.
Yeah, so I understand percentages. I understand why people do them. I've done them for a lot of years. I've had a lot of success on them, but I realize I have more success and my team members have more success if we don't do percentages. Reason being, percentages can fuck with you mentally. So say your program calls for a 4x4 at 80% or whatever it may be, and you only hit it for 2 sets of 4, and the other 2 sets you hit a 2 and a 1.
Yeah,
dude, that ruins you mentally. Then you're like, what do I do next week? You're kind of all off. Do I go back to here? Do I try to progress forward? Then sometimes they'll try to progress forward, but they're not ready for it, or then they fail, and next the workout's fucked, and they're not even doing it no more. Another thing with percentages, the reason I don't do them is because whenever I was squatting, I told you this before too. I squatted 635, bro, and then the next training session I squatted 700.
Yeah, that's unreal.
If I would have been doing percentages, it would have took me fucking 6 more months to get to 700, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just training at 100%, giving everything you got that specific day, I've found a lot more progress, and I've also, my training's been a lot better from training at 100%. Now, don't get me wrong, there are days I come in and my program calls for a 4x4 and I don't hit it. I don't let it get to me. I just move on to my accessory work.
Yeah.
If I'm failing at my lockouts, do more accessory work on my lockout. If I have floor press that day, I'll do more floor press. So that's my little spiel on percentage. Let me just jump right into my
yeah, definitely. I want to hear about your splits.
Monday, International Chest Day. What else can you
of course,
do,
right?
So Monday I'm doing chest. I'm crushing my chest. Usually is my heavier day. Following it up with some tricep work. So I'll start with my main accessory, or my main movement was also always the flat bench on chest. Working something somewhat heavy, depending on how my programming is. It's usually around 1 to 6 reps, right? For multiple sets of whatever it is. I'll do that, maybe some incline going on. My first tricep movement's always going to be heavy too. So It might be like a floor press. I'll use that as a tricep movement, right? Because you're working a lot, or a static pause. So on my main movement on chest, my main movement on triceps, I give myself the substantial amount of rest to perform at the highest level, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to burn that out. Now, if I'm doing, incline dumbbell, 2 sets of 30, I like to do a lot, then 2 sets of 8. So I do a lot of like a burnout, like a pre-exhaust work, then heavy. And the reason I started the 2x30, 2x8, because the gyms I used to train at never had heavy enough dumbbells for me, so I had to pre-exhaust.
That's a good problem to have.
I reckon, yeah, it's not bad. But I burn those out, dude. It's nonstop. I do 30. If I have a partner that day, he does 30. I do 30. If I don't have a partner, I put him down. I'm legit. I shake it out, swig, a little bit of my gallon jug or whatever, and I'm right back into it nonstop. Moving on to also I'll throw in a little bit of back work too. Since I bench, like the human body naturally, you guys can't see this video, but our posture is horrible. Like 90% of people, our
My
shoulders
posture's horrible
forward.
right now as I sit here in this chair.
Right, our posture's bad. So I do a lot of seated rows to help pull my shoulders back into position, more back work, because we're always doing so much pushing forward work. Like I was working yesterday with fucking one of the best wrestlers who ever lived, Reese Humphreys. And being a wrestler, he's all tucked in real tight. Like most of your wrestlers are. You guys always got knots in your back and shit. So I prescribed him 4 days a week. I have him doing seated rows to help pull his shoulders back into place, which is only going to make him a stronger human too. Dude, think about this, Jay. If your back goes out, all your lifts go out, right? So strong back, strong body. If you have a strong back, you're having physically a strong body. So I might throw in a little bit of light back on that date too. You're going to see a lot of back in my training.
I love it.
Tuesday is my deadlift day. So for those who don't know, I only deadlift heavy every other week. And because it takes 14 days, I've read that, and I've done that with my own experience. I've realized it does take 14 days to recover from a max effort deadlift. And when I say max effort, I'm talking like even max effort for 3 or 4 reps. So all my lifts are max effort because I give 100%. So even if I'm doing 4 reps, it's still a max effort for 4 reps. So on my off weeks, so every other week, makes my off week a deadlift. I'm doing maybe seated deadlifts or old school hack squats, deadlifts behind the back, pin pulls, accessory work for my deadlifts. I'll conventional pull 4 weeks in a row and sumo pull the next week. The reason I don't sumo pull I'm a sumo deadlifter, but the reason I don't sumo pull every single week is it's so hard on my hips. And also the conventional deadlift is super beneficial for the sumo deadlift. It doesn't go back the opposite way. Sumo's not as important for your conventional as conventional is for your sumo. Just a little knowledge bomb there too.
I'm learning. I love it. I'm learning
so
myself here.
Sorry, I take a drink. After that, I'm doing some deadlift accessory work, whether it be stiff legs. If I go heavy, usually I won't do a pin press. I'll do like some stiff legs. I got a makeshift reverse hyper made out of wood. I'll hit that up. A lot of Atlas Stone stuff. I'm training for my first strongman event. It's on the calendar. It's actually 2 weeks before our. Let me rewind a little bit. I canceled the powerlifting event. I'm training for the strongman event. My goal is to be this year. I want to make the nationals for strongman. I also want to be, respectively one of the top 1 or 2 best powerlifters in the 181 pound weight class, as well as the strongman.
Love it.
So I want to take overall strength.
Comes back to having that date on the calendar too. You got that?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Date.
So the strongman is going to come first. My exercise is going up. So I've been doing a lot of strongman stuff. Atlas stones, if you have access to them, they're so beneficial for your deadlift. A lot of guys get over top with their deadlift. So the Atlas stones, obviously it's on your chest. The weight's over top. So it helps you pull it back to you.
That makes sense.
In position. So I'm doing that right now. Stiff leg deadlifts, things like that. Moving on to Wednesday, back. I'll really focus on back this day. Lots of bent over rows. You do a lot of bent over rows, Jay?
Yeah, I do. I need to do more of them. I do a lot of dumbbell rows, but I think I should add in a little bit more of the barbell row because it definitely, I feel like, helps the upper back a little bit more.
Oh, the dumbbell row should be. You guys, I start out with like a main movement on all my lifts. So for my back, a main movement for my back is either going to be barbell rows, heavy. When I'm talking heavy, like 6 to 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Like really like. Don't worry. The first few sets, you want your forehand to be kind of locked in, and then you're just getting the weight up. I don't want you to see you doing deadlifts with it, but don't be afraid to rock that weight. Get some heavy weight to really overload, put that thickness on your upper back. It's also help your bench a ton.
For sure.
I'll hit that, or my other main back workout will be pull-ups. Tons of pull-ups.
Oh, I do a fuckload of pull-ups.
Yeah, you're wise. That's why you got those wings, bro. And also the bent over rows is great for your deadlift too. So hit those. I'll do some more ISO work, concentrated work with my seated rows, different things like that. Go into my shoulders. I've been doing a lot of axle presses, getting ready for the strongman event, log presses, things of that nature, and some biceps, some curls for the girls.
That's for the girls.
Thursday, I jump back into some speed chest work, dynamic, 65 to 70% of my max using bands or chains. Some light tricep work and some more light upper back work. Maybe my light upper back work might be like 100 pull-ups or something in the least amount of sets possible. Friday, I'm squatting, doing some lower body accessory work stuff. Lots of lunges, safety bar squats. When I say lots of lunges, probably not 6 miles like Jay and Chloe. So I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
A lot of weighted lunges. I've been doing safety bar lunges.
I love weighted lunges.
Step ups. I'm real big on box jumps. I have tires, so I jump on tires, build explosiveness out of the hole. Also, on my Fridays, after I squat heavy, I'll do some speed squats after. Depending on what my program calls, sometimes I'll even speed squat on Tuesday, depending if I need more squat work. Saturday is my man shit. I do man shit every day because I'm a man. But on Saturdays, I focus on man shit. I'm also doing some back, shoulders, triceps. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing quite a few exercises multiple times a week, but I'm working on what I need to work on right now. That's how my training split is.
Yep.
Everyone's could vary. Sunday's a touch-up day. Going into competition, I try to stay out of the gym on Sunday. I'll be at home. I'll work a little bit on conditioning, maybe hit the heavy bag. I used to box, so I have love for that. Some lunges.
So you're still doing something, which comes back to the whole 7 day. It doesn't have to be like intense in the gym, throwing crazy weight around 7 days a week, but there's always something you can improve on. Like last time, I love the fucking quote last time where you were like, when was the last time you fucking crushed calves? Like there's always something you can do in the gym.
Yeah, people like never hit calves.
Exactly.
Yeah, at home.
You don't even have to go to the gym on Sunday. Just do something just to stay active.
Dude, exactly. And like lunges, I've been doing a lot of conditioning stuff, so I realized that's what helped take me to the next level. Lots of stretching. Not overstretching, but stretching. If I do come to the gym, because I own a gym, so usually I'm here on Sundays anyways, training somebody, I'll just throw some calves in there because dude, no one gets enough calves working. I don't care who you are, unless you just have huge calves because you love to work them. Most people ain't doing enough calves.
Yeah, I got some work to do on my calves.
Looking good in the summertime. Just shorts on. So yeah, dude, that's how my Sundays roll around, and fucking that's.
I love the in depth. Yeah, man, I feel like I learned a shitload just from listening to that. Like, I mean,
that's just a small topic. Yeah, I definitely like to hit on that more in depth one day. That'd be really cool. Maybe
scheduled
we'll make a video on that.
Mm-hmm. Back to my training a little bit because I didn't go too much in depth. Something I really focus on is just always throwing in different variations. Whether I'm doing German volume 1 week and then the next week doing a lot of 28 method, or I'm doing a lot of quarter rep method or a lot of 3 grip method.
Hey, if you don't mind, Jay, will you step back and talk about the German method? Because I know a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah, that. German volume. So basically, so let's say you're doing incline bench press. You're gonna pick a weight that you can do 10 reps for, not easily, but so what the basis is, you're gonna do 10 sets of 10 with minimal rest in between each set. And when I say minimal rest, I mean 10 to 20, sometimes 30 seconds. If you're doing it with a partner, you're likely going to rest 20 to 30 seconds just because the other dude's got to hop in there. So minimal rest, 10 sets of 10. So you're going to want to choose a weight that you can do 10 reps for. Not easy, but you want to be able to basically stick with the same weight and not have to drop too much for the whole 100 reps total. So
makes sense.
Again, I always just try to basically keep my body guessing. I'm always throwing in different variations every week or every few weeks, just switching it up, just so my body never knows what's coming. So that's just something I really, really focus on from a training and programming standpoint, is just always throwing in different variations and always trying to come up with different things. I do a lot of the same exercises every week, but I do them differently. Again, like I said, the 28 method, the 10 by 10, the 3 grip. I love the 3 grip to get a ridiculous pump. I usually do. So let's say I'm doing straight bar curls. I'll do close, medium, and wide. So I'll do 10 reps close, 10 reps medium, 10 reps wide. And that's exactly. And
is that one set?
Exactly. That's without dropping the bar. So that's all one set. So 30 reps total before you ever drop the bar, rest a little bit, and then you hit your second set, 10, 10, 10. And you can do that with a lot of things. I mean, there's so many different things you can do the 3 grip with. And then
stupid pump.
Oh, fuck yeah, stupid pump. And then like if you're doing like easy curl skull crushers, it's not 3 grip, but it's 3 different touch points. So you're going 3 maybe times 10 to your nose, times 10 to your forehead, and then times 10 behind your head. And that's another way to get a ridiculous pump. But yeah, man, just always
finishing with that behind your head. That's what real quick. That really gives you that stretch in the
That's
tricep.
My favorite spot to do it, because you get a crazy stretch on the way down.
Yeah, so when you're going down like that, guys, try to make sure you're keeping your arm at a 90-degree angle. Mm-hmm. Don't come down behind your head and push up over top of your chest. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're defeating the purpose.
That's something I struggle with, and I've been trying to work on, is just going straight up. Triceps are something I've been really keying in on because I want to improve my bench. So yeah, the whole 90-degree thing, it's tough, but yeah, if you're able to do that, or just drop the weight a little bit, that'll definitely fucking
without a doubt
rock
baby.
your triceps. But yeah, just the whole variation thing is big for me, and just always keeping the body guessing. But let's move on.
Dude, hold on a second.
Okay,
everyone's loving. Yeah, everybody loves the no bitch assness tip of the day. So Jay and I were like, hey, let's just do a no bitch assness tip of the show every single show for you guys. So it might be, gym related, business, maybe even life related. We're just gonna throw a no bitch assness tip out there. Jay's gonna throw his, I'm gonna throw mine.
What you got for us today, Zach? No bitch assness tip of the show.
So I'll keep you guys from being a bitch in life. Part of my language if you're watching this with your kids. Dude, I just want to do over like 2 quick deadlift tips, some knowledge bombs real quick. Hey guys, if you're starting point on your deadlift, if you're starting over top of the bar, meaning if your shoulders are already over top of the bar when you're deadlifting, get a video. Everybody got fucking smartphones and video yourself. If your shoulders are over top of the bar, watch this. I'm like a psychic,
I'm waiting for it.
I guarantee your hips fire up first, right?
Yep, that's one of my issues.
99.9% of the time, it's your starting point, guys. Your hips are going to fire up first. How we fix this is going to come from sitting back, loading the hamstrings, right? So we're going to sit back in a position with our shoulders behind the bar. Our AC joint, for those who don't know, basically is like take your shoulder bone, essentially. You want it to be facing up. If it's facing towards like the rack or towards the wall or whatever's in front of you, your body's going to follow that way. Your hips are going to go straight up. So when you be up in a position, your back should be at a 45-degree angle and never leave that angle. If your back turns into a 90-degree angle, you're over top of the bar, right? You're going to be no matter what. I've fucking watched 1,000 million videos and
that's something I've definitely I'm not like completely like my chest isn't parallel to the ground, but I definitely struggle with my ass shooting up. I know that's a pretty common error.
So here it is, but here's what it is. It's not that you're quad dominant. Because guess what? Everybody's quad dominant. Everybody walks all fucking day. No one does hamstring curls all day. What it is, guys, you can get your hamstrings caught up to your quads. If your hips are firing up, that means your hamstrings aren't strong enough to support the weight. You need to get your hamstrings strong. So everyone's working with speed off the floor. I need more speed off the floor. Well, why? Your butt's cleared up in the air. So you're just working on deficit deadlifts. I think deficit deadlifts are great. Don't get me wrong, but guys don't need deficit deadlifts. They're working on off the floor work, but their butts are cleared up. You need more hamstring work. If you can get more hamstring work and keep yourself in the position, you're going to move faster off the floor naturally because your hamstrings are going to be stronger. You're going to stay in the position. So double up on your hamstring work if your hips are firing back. Cut that deficit
I'm gonna
out
start
for a while.
Smashing my ham. Something I struggle with though, like my ass does shoot up, but I'm able to get the weight off the floor easy. My problem is always my fucking closeout. Like I'm never able to. If I get super heavy, I can get like 500. Like I can get it off the floor, but basically closing off
Jay,
the lift.
here's why, man. Because when you fire off, your hips are going. If your hips are the whole entire time you're deadlifting, the goal is to what? Get your hips to touch the bar, right?
Yep, shoot them through.
So if you fire up and you're firing and your hips fire back, all that's saying is you're gonna get the weight up to your knees.
Exactly.
But your hips are gonna be back, so you're out of position. To where if you fired straight up, your hips are gonna be closer to the bar for your closeout.
Yep. That's what I struggle with.
It's not that your lockout's really bad. It's just you're out of position for your lockout. So reverse engineer it. It's actually your starting position is what's causing a bad lockout, right? That's like a total mind fuck because you're like, well, my lockout's bad. Your lockout's bad because you fired your hips back and your hips are clear out of position.
Yeah, my mind is fucking blown.
Boom. That's why Team Win the Day gets 80-pound PRs in 1 month. I ain't just another pretty face, believe it or not.
I love it.
Jay, what's your no bitch ass tip of the show? Whoa.
I got some ab tips for you guys. So everybody wants fucking abs, right? Everybody's in the gym.
I need this. So abs, let's roll into the powerlifters, guys. Core work's huge. You need a strong core for your deadlift, so definitely pay attention to this.
Of course, like body fat plays a huge role in how much you can see your abs and how visible they are. But the thicker your abs are, the more they stick out and protrude the fat, the more you're going to be able to see them. So if you train abs a lot, you're going to be able to see your abs at higher body fat percentages than if you didn't train them. A lot of people will say, well, I don't train abs because I got to layer fat over them, so I won't be able to see them anyways. But if you're really rocking your abs, you're going to be able to see them even higher body fat percentages. So that's kind of an incentive to train abs, even if you don't stay lean all the time. But anyways, I think people go ahead.
What do you got for like to get your abs to protrude out more? What's some good exercises?
I think people get a little too crazy and get all over the place with training abs. they're doing all kinds of different movements and not sticking to anything in specific. I think if you stick to the basics, what I really like to do are toes to bar for the lower abs. I like to do a shitload of weighted crunches, which if you don't know what that is, I have a video on my YouTube. Corey's huge on those. That's who I actually got the idea from. And then also ab wheels. Ab wheels are huge. So those are my main core three that I do all the time. But I also throw in reverse crunches every now and then for the lower abs, and also throw in cable crunches as well, just for the upper and mid abs. But something that's been really big for me is the nightly abs. I know a lot of you guys have seen that on my social media, Corey's social media. And what that is, and I just recorded a video on this actually to get a little bit more in depth with it. So I'll be posting that on my social media. It's up on my YouTube now. But what it is, though, is I have an ab wheel, which you can buy on Amazon for, I think, $11 fucking dollars. Great investment. And I have a 25-pound plate that I got from Walmart for like $20. So that's the only two things you need. And I probably usually go 4 to 5 nights a week. If you want to go 6, 7 nights a week, that's cool too. You can't really overtrain the abs. So what I'll do is I'll go for 200 to 250 reps on the weighted crunches every night, which usually takes me 4 to 5 sets. And then I'll knock out 40 to 50, sometimes 60 reps on the ab wheel. And if you can do that consistently, the compound effect is really going to play a role in how much your abs really start to build up. So if you can do that 4, 5, 6 nights a week, every single week, stay consistent with it, you're going to notice a huge difference. And then in the gym a few days a week after your workout, throw in some toes to bar, throw in some reverse crunches, maybe some cable crunches from every now and then. You are going to see some crazy results start to pop up. I mean, within a few weeks to a few months, the nightly abs are huge. But just sticking to the basics, though, man, if don't get crazy. You don't have to do a bunch of bicycle crunches and all that bullshit. If you stick to these basic movements and just stay consistent with them, you're going to see results. Again, obviously, if you drop some fat, you're going to see your abs even more. But the incentive behind doing more abs is that you can keep a higher body fat percentage and still see them. Like Corey, man, Corey's got such bricked up and thick fucking abs that even at a higher body fat
City,
percentage,
right?
yeah. But his body fat percentage has gone up. I mean, I know he's up a few pounds, but his abs are still super visible just because he's been doing these nightly abs and consistently training his abs for so long, for years and years and years, that his abs, man, they're just so thick that they're going to stick out through the fat. If he's got any fat there, he's always fucking shredded. But even at the higher body fat, his abs are still very apparent. So I think consistency and sticking to the basics. Compound effect, bro. It applies to everything.
Speaking of compound effect, you're reading that book, right?
Oh, dude, I love the compound effect. Darren Hardy, check it out if you haven't. It's the second time I've read it, and there's so many. It's one of those books, man, that it's just like, it just speaks to your soul. There's so many things in there. You're like, oh, fuck, I've experienced that. I've gone through that in my life. And just every single page, there's a knowledge bomb. And again, it just speaks to my soul.
What do you think is one of the best? You just said there's so many things to the book. What's probably the best message you got from that book?
The best message, man, I would say that he talks about it's the small things that you do on a daily basis that are basically going to lead you to greatness.
Just like you do. You talk about, you're like so adamant on that, sticking to your routine. That's just, you're destined for greatness, bro.
People think they have to do these huge things to become great or become successful, and you have to have like a big break or some sort of lucky event happen in your life. No, it's about the daily disciplines, the small things that you do on a daily basis, whether it's reading 20 minutes every single day, or if you're in fitness, knocking out the nightly abs every day. It's the small things that you do, and they compound over time. They compound every single week, and then into months, and then years. So I think that's the biggest thing, man, is just keep doing what you're doing. Come up with some very, very, I'm trying to think of the word, just the habits. It just comes down to your habits. Come up with some habits that are really gonna help you and benefit you. Some beneficial habits. That's the word I'm looking for. Come up with some really beneficial habits and routines and stick with them on a daily basis. And that's just going to compound again over the weeks and months and years to come.
Dude, hell yeah, man. What do you think, Jay? You want to jump into some Twitter questions?
Yeah, we got some. Dude, we got Twitter. You start off with your Twitter questions. I know you just shot out a tweet. I'm gonna pull up these Instagram questions that I got a few nights ago.
We got all kinds of Twitter questions, guys. Thanks for the engagement on the Twitter questions. We love it. That's the whole reason we're doing this podcast, to help other people out.
Yeah, we want everyone to be engaged, and I mean, we want everyone to play a part in it. That's why we really hit on the questions. So keep those coming.
Without a doubt. My man Luke came to the Iron Valley here. Him and Brian came
trained with him at Old School a few weeks ago.
Yeah, dude, they did a little trip, a Midwest Meccas
cool.
trip. Meccas. All right, man. He says, what's the difference between being a good powerlifter / athlete to a great powerlifter / athlete?
That's all you. What you got?
Mindset. Bro, you got to believe it. You got to believe you're great. You know what I mean? If you believe right now, hey, I'm pretty good, then you're just going to be pretty good. You got to be great. You got to believe, hey, I'm going to be great. And you got to keep on raising your expectations every single day. You go into the gym, you got to expect more. I don't want to fucking go into the gym and not hit a PR. I don't care if it's a rep PR, what it is. I got to be better. When I leave the gym, I leave with that resiliency, that will to want to get better. So I rolls right into my diet, your nutrition. I know this is something I've fought so long. My homeboys used to laugh at me. When I worked in the coal mines, side story real quick, I smoked a pack of cigarettes a day on midnight shift.
Ooh.
A pack of cigarettes. Zach Homol, dude, a pack of cigarettes a day on midnight shifts. Only shift. I didn't do it on days or afternoons, but on midnights I did, just for a simple fact that it's like I was a man job. I had a hard time staying awake on the way home. And now I don't smoke like ever. Like I hardly ever. It's like I might smoke if I drink or something, like one cigarette or something. But that affected my lifts, dude, legit. And so did eating Big Macs every day. You know, my performance wasn't at the highest level it could be, to where now my performance is right now, today, I'm the strongest human I've ever been. Today, I literally feel the strongest I've ever been. I'm getting better every single day.
Continual progress.
And it's because my nutrition game's up, bro. So that's goes your mindset. You got to train intense. You got to find a good mentor. So you got to find someone. Seek coaching. So many people have this ego, like, I know what I'm doing. You have to find a coach to teach you how to do better. Like I learned from Louis Simmons, a couple of these guys, the greatest in the game, guys that I've learned from. My buddy Bart benches 900 in a shirt. I learned how to bench from him. You learn from the best. You can't just teach yourself this shit. You have to seek mentorship, have the mindset for it, and then move forward and be willing to do whatever it takes to be good to great.
Damn, I love it.
Just for if you want to be the best, cover model or bodybuilder, what's kind of your mindset on
mindset? Like you just said, mindset's huge, man. That plays a role in everything in life, not just fitness or business or personal life. Having a strong and resilient mindset is so key. But I think it just comes down to having everything dialed in, man. And between your diet, your training, everything's got to be dialed in to the utmost. You can't be slipping on anything. So mindset and just being ultra dialed in, man. That's what's going to set you apart. Just doing the work, putting in that extra mile.
Don't be afraid to go the extra mile. Dude, I think that's why it's something that plays a huge role in my success, both business and the gym. When people say I don't get outworked, they say it. I'm doing it. I'm not getting outworked. When I'm in the gym, everyone wants to, hey, Zach, what workout are you doing today? People want to do my workouts. People want to ask me questions about business. I've been in business for myself for 4 months, right? An entrepreneur for 4 or 5 months, so they want to ask me questions, but all my business has been prospering since day one because, and if what's the one reason behind it? I hustle. I work hard. I'm not hustling like fucking people. I'm hustling working 20 hours a day hustle. I'm grinding.
And again, that's the mindset.
You guys follow me on Snapchat. You follow me on Snapchat. When I say I'm up at 4 and I go to bed at 12, it's real. There might be a couple hours in there that I'm, hanging out with my girlfriend or doing family time, talking to family on the phone, whatever it is. But 90% of the time, I am grinding. That's what sets me apart. You can't keep up with me. You can't. Dude, I would not be mad if a gym opened next door, same as mine, because you ain't gonna outwork me, bro. You're not willing to stay awake for a week, not eat, not sleep. I am. I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to. When I say I climb under the bar to squat 720, and I'm willing to break my back for it, literally in my mind, if it snaps me in half, I'm willing. I'm literally that fucking crazy, I guess you could say.
Damn, I'm fucking hyped, Zach.
Dude, I'm that hyped to die. I put myself in a mind frame that I'm willing to die for my goals. I'm literally willing. People say, you gotta do whatever it takes. No, I put myself in a mindset I'm literally willing to die for it. Dude, I've taken 440 with nobody in the gym before. What happens if 440 falls in your chest? People go, what happens if you fail? I said, I never fucking went into a lift expecting to fail. I never went into an event, a race, a boxing match, a football game, baseball game, expecting to fail.
I like that.
Why the fuck would I expect to fail on 440? I'm going to push it. Just like I'm going to win. Just like I do everything in life. I don't let myself fail. And the second I do fail, I do stumble, I bounce right back up and I'm working again. Short-term memory loss. You can't let those failures define you. Soon you fail, get your ass back up, keep moving forward. The mindset.
It all comes back to mindset, man. Mindset's so key in all areas of life.
So my man Brad Dixon, he's on the team. Everybody knows Brad, I'm sure by now. Yeah, Brad's real active on social media. Man, he's really been posting a lot about workouts and nutrition and things, and he's killing it, dude. Brad's he's working his way in. He's chipping away.
One day at a time.
That's right, babe. He goes, how to equip the new gym from scratch. what are some must-haves? If you're going to equip the new gym, obviously you're going to be in business with, you're going to be in competition with somebody. So you at least got to offer everything. Like when I say everything, I'm not talking treadmills, up to goes. Brad, I know your vision is going to be more of a hardcore gym, like old school gym or Iron Valley. So you got to have all the basics, basically, machines, dumbbells that get heavy, bands, chains. You're still looking at, if you want to go for if you buy everything new, 30, 40 G, bro, 50 G probably. Who knows? A couple of things I would suggest for you to do. Get the apps, Offer Up, Let Go. They're 2 apps. They're kind of like garage sale apps, basically. People are selling shit. Start collecting stuff off there. You might be able to find, 2 45-pound plates for $50. Okay, you're getting less than 50 cents a pound. Pick them up and just keep doing that. Keep collecting the equipment from the start. Also start seeking out for local auctions. Go closer to the bigger city. Maybe I know you're kind of close to St. Louis. Go to St. Louis, Indianapolis, Chicago. Look for auctions and see like kind of what they're offering at these auctions and go there. I know a lot of guys who funded their whole entire gym. They have like dope ass hammer strength machines for like $50, and they're like $2,000 machines at auction. So do that. Do garage sales for all your machines and like utility benches, dumbbells, different things like that. That's a good way to start at the cheapest cost possible. Another good way to start is call around to these bigger city high schools, even the smaller ones. I know you're from a smaller town, but call like around the bigger cities. I would just call and try to talk to the athletic directors and see if they have any extra equipment they're looking to get rid of. A lot of these places, these high schools and colleges will kind of sell them out, but high schools a lot of times just take all their old equipment and shove it in a shed somewhere.
Huh.
So it's like literally, so just call around and, hey guys, do you guys have any equipment? Yeah, we do. Cool. Is, can I buy it off you? And a lot of times you'll be able to get it, dude, for just dirt cheap. So you gotta be a hustler. You gotta be adamant on, you can't be afraid to spend hours on traveling and different things and calls. And you might take that $50,000 startup cost down to 10 grand. The only thing I do suggest is so if you're on your niche, Brad, I'm guessing you're gonna be powerlifting and training football players, you're a football coach. I would invest in some nice turf, maybe like a nice couple nice sleds, nice bars, bench bar, squat bar, deadlift bar, good bands, good squat rack, good bench. The basics got to be nice, maybe a one good utility bench, and the rest of the stuff, it can be used in all these machines because those things last forever. There's no sense in buying a $4,000 one brand new because the ones from 1930 still work the same. They're still awesome. You know what I mean? Like old school gym shows that, but old school gym also does have 2 mono lifts, good mono lifts.
New bars and shit like that.
New bars. So they have what you need to be new. The rest of the stuff, the plate loaded, tricep push down and seated row you guys have, dude, I've never seen a plate loaded one ever. Like that's like straight out of the 1950s. Like it's old as shit. And it's awesome. So it still works really good. So those things you can have old school, you know what I mean? But also find your niche to be old school. Like you don't want to promote an old school gym, like a badass gym like that hardcore, and have treadmills in the front and be yelling at your guys for slamming weights because the women walking on treadmills are getting mad. The people who come here, they expect like guys are gonna be training with their shirts off. If you bring your kids, just know that the music playing, there's going to be curse words. It's no disrespect, but don't disrespect my guys because they are the ones who pay the gym dues here. It's the hardcore atmosphere. So just find your niche and capitalize on it because you're not going to compete with an Anytime Fitness and LA Fitness. You have to find your own niche on that. That's what I got for that.
Yeah, and the whole niche thing, man, that comes full circle. Like even like on social media, if, again, a lot of these people want to start building a brand and such. Like you got to be able to find a niche. The fitness world, especially online, is so flooded these days. Like you got to be able to find a niche and be able to separate yourself from the pack.
Without a doubt. Next question, my homeboy Peter. I don't know how to say.
I was just about to say, is he pronounce it Peter or Peta? I always call him Peta. I'm gonna keep doing it.
I have no idea. It's like my homeboy. I talk to him all the time. I call him my boyfriend.
I'm gonna keep calling him Peta.
he got a dope ass Twitter picture too. It's me waving him down on a huge deadlift. He says, how do you manage your money? How do you budget for short term, long term, and any pointers you have to save money? Peter, let me hit on this real quick. I'm gonna call you out on the FireCast. You drink all the time. You're a partier. You're like the star bad boy role. You look good. You have nice hair. You're an attractive dude. You get the chicks, and you lift heavy, and everything's working for you. So you're out partying. You're the life of the party and things. But while you're the life of the party, that might be $100 on Friday. On Saturday.
And compound effect, bro.
Compound effect, dude. It happens to me. Ashley and I eat out all the time. So it's like last night was $40, the night before was $70. It's something we love to do. So that's just like we budget that in. Like that's something we do.
Mm-hmm.
The best way I would think about saving money is first I start like cutting out the smaller stuff like that. Maybe cutting out one night a week. But I'm not huge on saving money, dude. The way I look at it, like I do save. Don't worry, I try to put a somewhat percentage back. I look at ways to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck saving money. Like, oh, I got to worry about saving this. I'm like, how can I make more money? And that job can be what I save. Like, so I might save. I say, hey, my t-shirt sales, all that money I save. So Peter, I would suggest getting another. I know you're in the corporate world, and you just got a huge raise, a job promotion. He works like a Fortune 20 company. He's in the finances now.
Son.
The dude's a hustler. Like you can tell his work ethic. He gets up at 4 a.m. He hustles all day. So even though I knocked him about partying or whatever, he did party all night, slept a half hour, and drove to the Iron Valley, my seminar last week.
And then Coach gut checked his ass.
Dude, he puked. But guess what? You know what I love about it? He puked. He kept fucking going.
Yeah.
That just shows his heart. You know what I mean? It just shows like, hey, I'm willing to do this, but I'm also willing to do whatever it takes. And that's what's really cool about a lot of guys on the team. And Peter, for sure, you can't question his willpower or his hustle, dude. He works hard. He shows it. Younger guy working his way up a Fortune 20 company, killing it. So I would work on Peter trying to find a different form of income. You're good at talking. You have a pretty cool story. You're from a different country, moved here. Figure out a little niche and find a different form of income and maybe save that. Or just take like a percentage out of your pay right now and put that back. What do you got, Jay, for that? I know you're you went to college longer than I did.
I've made it a few years. I like the whole scarcity versus abundance mindset before I get into like any of the applicable stuff. The whole scarcity versus abundance man, like I'm not all about like trying to. I mean, I do save money. I'm smart with my money, but you got to live from a mindset of abundance. Like, there's so much money out there to be made. Like, if you're living from a mindset of scarcity, you're always going to live like that. You're always going to be trying to save whatever you've got. But getting more into like just the applicable stuff, like if you really have an expenditure problem and you're spending way too much money and you're always short on funds, even though you're making a shitload of money. I made a tweet this past week. Like, if you're always spending everything that comes in and living paycheck to paycheck, no matter how much money you're making, you're always going to be fucking broke. Because the more you make, the more you're going to spend. So I think it just comes down to, like, the small things. Again, the compound effect plays a huge role in this. And he talks about this. If you have a money problem, start writing out literally everything you spend money on. So every day you'll have a sheet written out of what you spend. And at the end of the week, look it over. And you're going to be surprised as hell by the amount of money you spend on stupid shit. Like, people go to Starbucks. I'm a huge fucking Starbucks fan, but I don't go there every day because it's so expensive. Like, people will spend $7-8 at Starbucks every single day, and over a week's time, man, if you're spending $7 a day, that's $50 a week. Like, and then over 4 weeks' time, that's $200 a month. You're spending $200 a month on one thing of coffee every day. So that's just one thing people spend. I mean, then they'll go to the vending machine, spend a couple bucks. So I think it's the small things that really compound and end up really draining the funds. So I think if you do indeed have a spending problem, writing out and tracking your expenditures. Same thing with if you have a weight problem or an eating problem, like just tracking exactly what you're eating, and you're going to be surprised at the results at the end of the week of what you actually ate. Because if you're not writing it down, it's out of sight, out of mind. I'm huge on that with goals and everything else and tracking stuff. But yeah, man, just track it out, and also, like you said, figure out a way to make more money. I mean, with the internet these days, there's so many different avenues and revenue streams that you can come about. I mean, if you have skill, there's always going to be a way to make more money. Even if you're working a full-time job, that's the beauty of the internet. You can still make money while you're working your normal job. So I think that figuring out a way to make more money thing's huge too. And living from a viewpoint of abundance, there's always going to be money to be made.
Without a doubt. I got a question here on Snapchat. My homeboy Reagan, he trains here at the gym. Cool transformation, lost some weight. Guy's a hustler. He's on the squat every day. But he asked, so I'm going to ask you first, Jay, what would you say is your number one reason for grinding each and every day? Why are you grinding so hard, Jay? Why are you doing it, bro?
Yeah, it comes down to, again, having the vision, having the North Star. My vision and what I want to achieve is financial freedom that allows me to freely travel the world and not really...
Jay's going to be doing podcasts from the Bahamas.
Fuck yeah, that's my goal, man.
You know what I mean?
I don't want to... I mean, I'm always going to be doing something, but I want to get to a point where I have enough passive income. That's a whole other rabbit hole. Having enough passive income to where I can work a few hours a day and then get into other hobbies and shit like that. Like, I want to get into BJJ eventually and really heavy into meditation and just a lot of different things. So when you have enough income, to where you don't have to work all day every day. You can get to a point where you're just doing whatever you want on a daily basis all day every day. So that's really my vision, is just to be able to freely travel the world, experience different cultures, learn new things, and so forth. And just, if I want to fucking live on the beach for 3 months, then I will. So that's kind of the basis behind building an online business. It allows you to travel wherever. So you got to put the work in, though, to really get it going and get it started, because obviously I'm not going to be able to achieve that if I don't work my ass off right now. So that's kind of the basis behind why I work so hard right now, because I have the vision and I know what's going to be available to me down the road if I really apply myself and do the right things right now.
Hey, real quick, what's discovered, like 1 minute? What's BJJ?
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah.
Okay.
So stuff like that, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to get into like more practices like that, just because it's a very different thing than I've ever done. So maybe some Muay Thai, maybe some BJJ, maybe some Krav Maga, different things like that. Just different practices.
You said meditation, then BJJ. I'm like, what is that like referring to?
Just different practices, man, where you really have to apply yourself and learn a whole new skill.
I dig it. That definitely furthers your mindset too. Exactly. You meet new people, learn new things. I'd say my number one reason for grinding every day, obviously I talk about how I want to enhance the world, but it all boils down to like I want to enhance the world. But my number one reason, I've been saying this forever and ever and ever, is I don't want my name to be forgotten when I die.
Legacy, that too.
I see a lot of people, I've had a few deaths in the family, and it's like now we barely even talk about them, and no one else really does. You know what I mean? You see people out, they don't, hey man, I'm sorry about your grandma, I'm sorry about your uncle, whatever. You know what I mean? It's gone. They're gone forever. And I don't want that, the movie Troy, Achilles, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then, if the kid said, I'd be afraid to fight him. He goes, that's why no one will ever remember your name. No one's going to remember, if you're sleeping 8 to 10 hours a day and watching TV 3 hours a day, hey man, I'm just letting you know, this might not bother a lot of people, but it bothers me. When you die, no one's ever going to remember you. They might remember you for 3 years and you're going to be forgotten.
Gary Vee has a really cool thing about that, man. He talks about like how everything he does is basically, he's working towards his funeral. Like he wants a shitload of people to show up to his funeral and so forth. So kind of just same thing.
Dude, the same thing. That's why I want to enhance the world. But I don't want to, I want to die and be like, dude, Homol, that dude was a fucking savage. He put in 20 hours a day to the day he died. He just grinded.
Yeah.
He helped everybody. Just leave a total legacy of a really humble man who was a fucking savage. He was just like when he was in his zone, he was a bad motherfucker.
100%. I tweeted something this week, actually. I said, I want my grandkids when I'm 70 years old to say, Jay is a boss. So same thing, man. Legacy is everything.
It is, bro. That's all my Twitter and Snapchat questions. Right. I know you got the most of them.
Pull up some IG. All right, let's see what we got here. We got a couple questions, a couple topics. Cran Daddy, he asked, he wanted me to cover some ketogenic. So I usually go keto like the final week of shoot prep, and he kind of just wanted me to cover that. So it just kind of depends on where my body fat's at and what I'm looking like to when I really start going full keto. But usually it's just the final week, and I'll cut out my veggies and basically just go beef, nuts, and that's pretty much it. And that's the best way to really start to drop the last bit of weight, bit of fat. I've never really had any kind of success with a long-term ketogenic diet, just because energy-wise, I've never really been able to survive on the 30 to 50 grams of carbs a day, just with the type of training. I don't know. I think everyone's different. Again, coming around to that, everyone's so much different. Everyone reacts so much differently to different stimuli. But for myself personally, I've never really been able to do it just because I feel so down. Energy levels suck. I fucking just get pissed off and hate the world. So in that regard, it's never been successful. But from a standpoint of trying to get lean and shredded, it fucking works. I mean, it definitely works in that regard. But I don't think it's sustainable. Not for me at least, but maybe for other people. I've never had.
Like Corey, I mean, for instance, I don't know if Corey does it or not, but I know Corey's real carb sensitive. So that could be those type of guys could run more efficiently off. I know Kranak just from Kranak's a really good friend of mine. I go to his place whenever I go to competitions in Columbus. He always houses me, shouts after that, Kranak, you're the man. But he eats super clean. He eats super right, but I know he's not able to do the high-fat diets. He's not very efficient with them. So basically it goes down to learning yourself, I believe. Again, what works best for you. Maybe something works best for Jay. If I ate carb life every night, that might not work for me. You know what I mean? So it's basically come down to what's better for you. Do I think I can eat carb life every night? Yeah, because I train hard. my training's intense. But if you're training 3 days a week, 4 days a week, because that's whatever all you can do or whatever, I wouldn't be doing carb life twice a week or twice a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah, so it comes back down to really learning yourself, and I think you can really start to begin to learn what works best for you by experimenting with different things and giving them time to play out. Like, don't try something and then just quit on it like 3 or 4 days in. You gotta decide what you're gonna try, give yourself a couple weeks, and then track the results. I think that's big to being able to figure out. So basically, just use your body as a fucking science project, but make sure you give it time to play out. Allow time to see if the results play out, and then track the results too, and track what you're doing,
Nice.
and you'll know what works best for you. And so we covered his other question. He was asking about if clients don't respond well to high-fat diets, again, you just got to start playing around with the macros and what kind of foods you're eating, and just
that
see
comes
what works
down to being a
best.
good coach. That comes down to being a good coach, man. If your coach is like, oh no, if your coach is so single-minded, he's saying this is the only way, you need to find a new coach. It comes down to like strength too.
Yeah.
Your coach is a fucking asshole.
That's a quick way to know that he basically is clueless, because everyone's just so much different.
Dude, that's it. Yep.
All right, my boy Kyle, he's been training with me lately. 16 years old, gets up at 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m. most days.
You're on the right track, Kyle. You're on the right track.
Most days, he's got to start showing up every day, but he's there most days. He's doing well. He asks, how do you find out what your goals are if you can't clearly think of them? What you gotta
have, dude, like you said, you gotta have a North Star. You know, what do you mean if you can't think about your goals? You gotta fucking have goals to think about. You need to make a goal, even if it's not, your overall end goal. You still have to make a goal. I don't care if it's, my goal is to wake up at 4 o'clock every morning for 2 weeks. Check this out, Jay. A couple years ago, I had a goal. I was working in the coal mine. The one day I had off, my goal was to stay awake for 24 hours straight to test my mental and not sit down once.
Oh, shit.
People go, you are stupid. Everyone, I put it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything. Why would you do that? It's the stupidest thing I ever heard. I'm so fucking mentally tough, though, dude, from doing stupid shit that you guys think stupid. My mental game is so up. Like, when I walk under a squat bar, if I walk into a competition, dude, I've tested myself mentally so many times, you can't fucking beat me mentally. The world can never beat me mentally because I consistently put myself in situations that's hard on I make myself uncomfortable every single day. I remember I was laid off in a coal mine for 2 weeks, dead of winter. I told my mom knows that. She's like, Zach, don't do anything crazy these 2 weeks, because she just knows how I am. Dude, the 2 weeks, I tried to see how long I could stay awake, how many hours I could stay awake. It was like 2 days or something without caffeine. Like, I was fucking bugging. Like, I was just weird shit. I wouldn't sleep in my bed. Like, I know this is like so extreme, but I'm huge on, I find myself during these times. And it's not practice. It doesn't relay back to fitness at all. It just relates back to, I'm so mentally strong, and it carries me through everything I do in life. Like, when I walk into a job interview, I walk in like, which I'm not doing no more because I ain't fucking working for anybody ever again. That's how I knew as an entrepreneur I couldn't work for people. It sucked. But when I did, I walked in, I'm like, you guys, I'm not being cocky, arrogant, but I'll tell you right now, no one's going to outwork me or be more consistent than me. Like, I give you my word. If I shake your hand, that's 20 times better than me signing a paper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a man of my word. So whenever I push, anything I'm doing, I walk into a job interview, I'm just going in with this extreme confidence. Like, you need me more than I need you. Mm-hmm. I know what I'm bringing to the table, and it all comes back to being mentally tough.
I love that I love that, dude. Like the daily small challenge. Like, you've always got to be figuring out a way to challenge yourself. I mean, there's so many different ways to figure out how to come up with different types of challenges and so forth. But yeah, that's when you really find out who you are. The compound effect that he was just talking about, that kind of stuff. So I think the small daily challenges, whether it's going 24 hours without eating anything or without sleeping, may sound fucking crazy, but you're going to grow mentally every time you do something like that. And you're going to find out who you really are. Because, I mean, you don't
find out how tough you really are. I ain't talking about being tough. I'm being tough. Like, you know what I mean? That's the thing.
Like Dustin talks about, dude. I mean, that video this past week about going into deep waters, you don't really truly find out who you are and what you're all about until you get into those deep waters.
You see if you crack or not, how tough how tough are you really? You talk about, I see everyone posting pictures of lions and gorillas and acting like badasses. I just want to post a picture of myself and say, this is a fucking lion for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, you be the lion. Quit posting pictures of lions and start being a fucking lion. They start 100%. Really being one.
100. All right, let's see. Kyle had another question. He said, as a teen, how can I think of ideas for a brand or stuff that will build my following?
Kyle, first things first, you got to find a goal. You can't teach nobody nothing. First off, you don't even have a goal. And I think you need some more time in it. Mm-hmm. Jay taught he trained for 5 years before he said anything to anybody. Even started posting on Instagram. He had to figure out, what he was actually doing and have the knowledge to, push it. I think your brand right now should be building positivity along your peers. Me and Jay talked about covering this a little bit, but we didn't at the beginning of this series. We'll talk a little bit right now. We live in a world of there's just a lot of negative things going on in our world right now. A lot of people are divided. it's not just America; it's all our countries, and there's been countries, third world countries, who've been suffering from a lot of negativity for a lot of years. So I think being a positive person, just you yourself, and relaying that to the next person, that's going to start changing the world one person at a time. So the first thing I want you to do is just think, how can I, if I want to build a brand, impact my peers, you should build a brand of positivity to start. Be a positive human, influence others, try to impact others' life positively. Not only going to attract more friends, but you're going to attract more business opportunities in your future. You know what I mean? Or if you walk into a job interview or to a college, apply and stuff, and you're a great guy, there's just so many things that's going to happen.
Positivity is so contagious, man.
It is. And so is negativity. So you really got to know that that's my first thing. I think you need to get some more time in as far as building a brand of anything like lifting related and stuff. You really need to put more time in, because I thought I knew what I was doing when I was 15, 16. And I look at it now, I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, shit, dude. If you go back on your social media,
even 2 years ago.
Yeah, bro.
Dude.
I mean, it's crazy, like how much. And that's a good thing. You're always progressing, but it's fucking embarrassing going back and looking at shit from a couple of years back.
I deadlifted 500 for 3, and I thought I knew what I was doing. I do 500 for like 28 reps now. I'm like, whoa. So I really
100%. But going back to the whole branding thing, man, like, you got to really know what you want to do. And if you do want to start building, say you want to start building your fitness brand, you got to be super upfront about you really don't know what the hell you're doing. Like, even myself, for example, I'm still learning, but you got to be super upfront with people like Zach and I with this podcast. We're very fresh entrepreneurs. We're still learning on a daily basis. We don't know shit compared to a lot of people. So I think just being upfront with what you're doing, if you really want to build your fitness brand on social media, sure, you can do that. Be you, but just be upfront about it and just let people know that, like, hey, come along for the journey, just like this podcast. Come along with me on this journey as I learn and as I progress. So don't act like you're an expert. Definitely don't do that. People are going to see right through that bullshit, that fakeness. So just being upfront with people and just being you and being real. So
let's the fakes get exposed.
Yes, 100%. Let's move on to Corey Guns. My boy Corey, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. Samudowski. I'm gonna go with that. He came and trained with us a few weeks ago. He's been working. He said he's got a very specific question in regards to his college degree. So he said, I don't know if you'll be able to answer this, but my major is accounting, which I do enjoy and plan on finding a job for in the future. But I'd love for that job to somehow be in the fitness industry. I guess my question is how to stay in the fitness industry without directly being the trainer like you are.
Oh, dude. So, you have a degree in accounting. So Muscle Farm needs an accountant, or the next company needs an accountant. You try to get in that way, or maybe look into maybe someone like me one day needs an accountant, and I'm in the fitness industry, or maybe Corey needs an accountant. So you kind of leech to a guy like that, or people in the fitness industry, and be their accountants, and that's kind of, I keep you tied. That's something I might look at. What do you got on that, Jay?
Same exact thing, man. Like if you really want to be in it, then get with someone like Corey that's got a huge brand and he needs an accountant, or maybe a supplement company. There's a lot of different ways if you don't want to be like us, where you're building a brand through social media, you're helping people and you're training people. So there's a lot of different ways, but I think that'd be the best route to take if you want to be pretty in the game, but you don't want to be like we are and like Corey is. And then let's see what Brooks has got. Brooks asks, how do you stay current and relevant on social media with ever-changing news cycles? If you were only to have one account on any social media platform, which would you choose and why? I already know which one you're going to choose. So let's start with that first question. How do you stay current and relevant?
So basically, I just try to be real transparent with everybody. I try to talk to, answer as many people as I can all the time. Keeping up with trends, I guess. I've never really been like a real trendy guy. I fucking wear flip-flops and socks and jorts every day. So
yes, sir.
I'm not keeping up with the Kardashians on that. But
being real, though.
I'm being real. I'm being myself. And I feel like that's it's very authentic.
Attractive people like that.
Yes, the way I'm attracting people like, hey, just normal dudes, you know what I mean? But always trying to relate back to people back and forth. It's rough, in the social media. So maybe instead of spending 15 minutes watching a YouTube video, or while I'm watching a YouTube video, I might be, tweeting people back or answering DMs and different things. I might get like 5 DMs a day.
Down in the DMs, baby.
Yeah, people are sending me videos and stuff to critique and different things. So I'm trying to stay real on top of that. It's staying on top of your daily goals, especially write a to-do list. I'm big on to-do list and just hitting. I'm like, on my to-do list, it says answer social media questions. It's at least an hour and a half a day I spend on it.
Yeah. So basically, I'm not up with the cycles like Gary Vee, man. He's always so ahead on like what's the new social media platform and stuff. I'm more so like I'm trying to build up a brand where it's very engaging. Like it's back and forth with everyone that follows me, and I'm always trying to help them, and it's just cool ass conversations back and forth. But I think definitely always responding to every single tweet, every single Instagram comment, every single Snapchat, whether it's just the basic of things. You don't. I mean, even if it's not a question, just responding with something. I think people really like that, and I mean, it's cool, man. I mean, I get to fucking engage with all these people across the country, meet all these new people. Another thing is just always coming up with new creative shit. Like Gary Vee says, man, you got to have skill. Like, if you don't have skill, you're not going to be able to build a social media following. If you're not creative and you're always coming up with new shit, then you have no chance. So I think that's a big thing, is just always pushing yourself to come up with something new. Like for me, man, on a daily basis, I'm trying to come up with new creative ideas on how to build up my YouTube or my Instagram or whatever. And at the same time trying to figure out ways to benefit people. Like I think those go hand in hand. Benefiting people and building a brand they're fucking
dude. So I'm glad you
peas in a
said that,
pod.
Jay. Yeah, dude, for sure. So I don't follow very many fitness accounts. Actually, hardly any. The only fitness accounts I will follow is the ones who are giving me content to make me better.
Exactly.
I could get, I mean, I think it's cool when I see a guy deadlifting 900 pounds, but if he's not giving me no content on how he did it, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
So that's why I came out with the no bitch as a tip of the day, is because, hey, I deadlift 700 pounds for reps, but here's why. Here's my tips why. You know what I mean? I'm giving you like in a sense, the customer, essentially, the viewer, reasons to follow me. Reasons when if you're following my account, Jay account, Corey's, Dustin's, you guys are learning more than what you're just watching for entertainment. Yeah, it's entertaining, but we're teaching. You know what I mean? That's something to be said in itself.
That's building a brand 101, man. Like there's a lot of fitness brands out there that don't fucking provide anything of value. It's just a bunch of bullshit pictures of them with their shirt off. And those people may have a big following, but they're not going to win long term, man. Like they're following.
They have the width. They have the width, but
they don't have the depth.
Gary Vee talks about that.
That's what it's all about. Like
my engagement, dude. I have 6,000 some followers, right? But dude, my depth is there. I talk to so many people. I have so many people actually interacting with daily. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'd rather have 6,000 followers who are buying into the shirts and buying into the legacy.
It's a family, man. We're building
mindset.
We're building a family. We're building like a giant just group of cool ass people. But yeah, going back to those brands and those pages that don't provide any value, they're not going to win long term. Gary Vee's all about thinking long term. You're playing the long game. It just goes back though to benefiting. You got to come up with beneficial content. You got to be creative. You got to have skill. You got to have knowledge. It comes back to putting in the time before you ever start posting anything. Putting in the work, building up the knowledge base, and let's see he had one other question before we ramble on too long. One social media platform, mine would be Instagram. I love Instagram. It really plays to my strengths. You got to focus on your strengths and fuck your weaknesses. So Instagram's always been really good for me, and just the kind of content that it demands. I already know your answer. Go ahead though.
Dude, I love Snapchat. I'm a Snapchatter, but dude, Instagram too is just so hard for me because I pushed all my engagement from Instagram to Snapchat. Well, I'm still working on it.
Which I'm working on as well. Yeah.
I get like 30, 40 people. Right now though, Jay, if I actually had to say right now, today, Instagram. Because I make money off my Instagram for the online training and different things. Yep. I'm making money off that platform more so than I am on Snapchat. Now there is a little bit of switch and tide. Like it's switching over.
People definitely.
How do I get the shirts? How do I get one-on-one training with you on my Snapchat? So the engagement's switching. Ask me this in like 18 months. It's going to be Snapchat for sure because I'm going to be making more money off it. And just to iterate this real quick, it's not about making money. I mean, it's about enhancing the world. But, being an entrepreneur, I feel like I release so much content. So whenever people do want a program, it's because I've already provided enough value for them to have.
Yeah, they go hand in hand, man. If you're helping people, it's going to come back full circle and you're going to make money. Like if you're coming from a place of value and wanting to help people, you're going to fucking make money. It's just kind of how it goes. So,
but I have way more fun on Snapchat, dude. I have so much fun interacting because I answer so many questions. The video, I'm real good live. I'm better. Like when me and Jay are talking before the podcast, I'm like stumbling on my words and shit. As soon as I get on camera,
once the lights are on, baby,
I feel, dude, that's like when I'm under pressure, like meets. Yep. I'm ready to come out swinging.
I agree. And also back to the whole Snapchat, like I said, Instagram's my baby right now. I do love Snapchat though, man, because it's so intimate with everyone. Like I can answer questions. Like if you're trying to get at me, you have any kind of questions, you're trying to get a hold of me, Snapchat's the way to do it. I answer Snapchat quicker than I'll answer text messages. Just because
Me
I see it pop up on my screen, I'm going to answer a Snapchat way
And it's
faster than I
easy,
will a text.
and you get the video, dude. So it's so
Video
funny. I
too.
used to like video my mom, like to text her. I'd send her videos.
Really?
Because you get, yeah,
That's
that's serious. I would talk, like, especially when I just first moved to Indy, because I didn't really like have very many friends, obviously. You know what I mean? So that's how I would engage with her. So Snapchat, I tried to get on Snapchat, but she just couldn't figure it out. But dude, that's I'm huge on Snapchat. I answer Snapchat, just so you guys know, 10 times faster than tweet. It goes Snapchat, Twitter, text, than Instagram. Like my text is way down there, and my calls are way down there too, because you know I spend at least 8 to 12 hours a week talking on the phone with clients. So or people on my team. Sorry, I don't want to be on the freaking phone. Like my girlfriend calls me, she's like, "Hey, just make sure you're live. I love you. Bye." Okay, like bye. You know what I mean? That's like, I don't want to be on the phone anymore. I have to.
For sure, 100%. All right, let's see what else we got. Tyler Treadway, he's an OSG. 5 a.m.er. He asks, how do you know when to go all in on your business and work to make it profitable as opposed to just doing it for fun and keeping it as a hobby?
Wait, reiterate that again. Say it again.
He said, how do you know when to go all in on your business and work to make it profitable as opposed to just doing it for fun and keeping it as a hobby?
Dude, so you know you can make money. If you know you can make money, let's go to work. It's like, Jay, how did you know when to pull the trigger on the online training? We talked about it. Dude, people are asking you already, bro, for workouts. Why are you waiting? If people are asking, if customers asking, start giving. Like, right, that's when you know to go all in, whenever you're going to be able to be profitable, but also when you build up the knowledge base for it. Tyler, I don't know what exactly you're doing right now. I know you got a little bit with, like, I know you're in comics or something, and a little bit in the fitness, and you're trying to tie it together. I'm not exactly sure what you're doing because I haven't talked to you in person about it yet. I am interested to learn. I think you have a niche, which is good. But let's just keep building up your brand. You don't post enough on Instagram. You guys don't think of it. I follow you guys close. Even if I'm not following you directly on Instagram and shit, I'm peeping you guys.
Just like Corey Carpenter, bro. I saw you comment on his too, and I did the same, man. He's been working his ass off, and like he just made a post yesterday, and both of us commented on there and be like, we're both like, bro, keep it coming. Like you gotta.
This is great.
You know a lot of shit.
He talked about salsa and how it was compared to barbecue sauce. You know, the barbecue sauce has a bunch of sugar.
We're both following you guys.
So, dude, y'all might not think it, but I'm fucking watching you guys. 100%. You guys are asking me questions, which is great. But if you guys watch this podcast and don't give me, you know, if you're asking questions, but you're not applying no actions, why are you even asking questions? You're wasting our time.
100%.
Apply fucking actions to the question. So whenever you ask a question, we give an answer. Apply. I'm not saying to do exactly what we say, but it might just spark a little bit of interest. Oh, I could do it this way. So apply the action. So Tyler, first off, start posting more on Instagram. I blow Instagram up 2 or 3 posts a day, but guess why? Because Instagram right now is doing that thing where the top posts are up there, whatever. And people are on Instagram, on Twitter at different times all the time. So that's a whole new beast in itself. But even posting the same tweet twice is not going to kill you because people not everyone's
not going to see it. Nope.
Unless they're just following like 5 people, right? So you really have to make sure you're being real transparent. The best times to post, everybody knows, is like 7 o'clock at night. You know, on Sunday afternoons, good to post.
Especially for Instagram.
Instagram, 7 o'clock. Snapchat, dude, holler at me whenever. My Snapchat engagement is really up at around 4 in the morning because everybody's.
It's funny how different all the social media platforms are, man. Like you said, Instagram, something I learned at Muscle Farm is basically every night between like 7 to 9 is the hot times. Sunday night's the most hot. But then Snapchat, like you can post things on Snapchat whenever, and it's going to hit everybody. So it's funny how much different each platform is and how they demand different content, and they're just so much different in their.
You have to be real.
Respect.
You have to be real versatile in your engagement with your different social media platforms. I have a lot of engagement first thing in the morning too. If I post like before 6 o'clock,
same
on Instagram, because people are getting on it. As soon as you wake up in the morning, dude, everyone rolls over and checks their phone.
Yeah.
And I mean, you roll over, you look on Instagram. Oh shit, this dude's already up grinding. I'm not. He's so many steps ahead of me. But that's the truth.
Motivate
him.
Yeah, 100%.
Or it's the engagement between the people who are up at 4. You know, when people wake up at 4 in the morning, they got this aura about them. They got this sense to them. They're hype, you know, and people are hitting me up. Zach, they're like hyping me up. Like, we're up, we're fucking grinding. And I'm like, oh yeah, hype for him and shit. So it's so cool to see the community. And, you know, let me get a little bit of, shout out to Corey. He built that, dude. Corey, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's guys who've been training at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning forever, right? But Corey, like, made it the thing to do. I mean, you go to old school gym at 5 in the morning, there's more people there at 5 at night. Dude, you're building a community of people. So
fucking
it's like
parking lot was full yesterday, bro. I pulled in at 5:05. I was a little bit late. I couldn't even find a fucking parking spot.
It's like a meet. Like what the shit, dude? It's like it's so cool with so many gyms throughout the the United States because Corey's building that.
Yeah.
And, we're following up behind on the back end. Like that's even Iron Valley right now. We probably have 7 or 8 guys here at which is decent. For 80 some members, approaching 90 members. We have 8 guys here in the morning for a morning cruise. So that's really cool.
Back to Tyler's question. I mean, honestly, with the internet, man, and all the shit out there these days, you can make anything profitable. So I think it just comes down to a gut feeling. Like if you think you can make it profitable, you think that's what you really want to do. If that's truly your passion, then fucking follow it, man. Like even if you're not making all that much money right out of the gate, if you don't have all that many bills, now's the time to go into it. If you're doing what you want to do, then you're already winning. Basically, is what Gary Vee says. So it's gut feeling, man. For me, for going all in with my fitness stuff and the social media and the online training, it was gut feeling. I just had a day where it was kind of like a revelation. Everything became very clear, and it was like, this is what I need to do. So kind of just if you feel it, like if it's in your gut and you truly think it's time, then just go for it. Jump into the fire, like we talked about earlier. Let's see what we got next. Ryan Turner, he asked, how do you stay hungry with your goals? What you got, Zach?
Oh man, dude, my goals mean they mean everything to me.
That's what we talked about earlier.
I'm so goal driven.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my life, dude. I'm so goal driven. I'm like a racehorse, man. They take out my peripherals. This is all I'm thinking about. Like right now, I actually have a date set on the calendar for the strongman competition and for the. So it's gonna be hard for me because I don't have to be so lean as you guys. Me and Corey were talking because I'm not the bodybuilder guy, the physique guy.
No, you got your own niche.
I'm gonna be so dialed in, but I still gotta be dialed in for the shoot.
Definitely.
And I'm still trying to train heavy, for a strongman event that's requiring a lot of effort. But now that I have a goal down, it's the only thing that matters to me. The first thing I wake up in the morning is to get better. That's all I think about. You have to constantly replay in your head. And when you look out there, if you're just looking into space, you should be able to think about your powerlifting numbers or the way your physique's going to look or how much, an Atlas stone you can pick up. You should just constantly, that's how you keep, it's just writing the goals down every single day and replaying them in your head over and over and over.
Having that vision.
You become obsessed. And that's the only way to truly make it, going back to how you become a great lifter. You must be obsessed with your goals. You literally have to be willing to die for them. Going back to that, man, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. And that's how you stay goal driven.
Yep. I think, again, it comes back down to having that long-term vision, like knowing what you really fucking want. If you want it bad enough, then staying hungry is not going to be a problem at all. Like if you can't stay hungry towards your goals, then your goals aren't big enough or they aren't right for you. Like you need to kind of adjust them and really take some time to sit down and think about what you truly want. Because if you truly want something bad enough, man, there's going to be no problem staying hungry on a daily basis. You're going to have days where you're kind of slumped, you're not really feeling it. But in general, thinking like large scale, man, you're never going to have a problem staying hungry towards your goals. And if you do, then your goals aren't right for you. You need to adjust. So let's move on. Also, we're making this podcast a little bit longer, so let us know how you guys feel about this one. If you guys want them a little bit longer like this one, or you guys were feeling the 30 to 45 minutes. I think the first 2 are 45, 47 minutes.
We talked about dropping out 2. Jay and I we're hustling. We're in the dirt right now in the mud, so we're grinding.
Or we can just do one longer one.
We can do that. So yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, just let us know. Give us feedback. That's what it's all about. We're doing this for you guys, so let us know what you guys think, what you guys want to hear. It's all for you guys. So let's see what else we got. We got a couple other questions. Brian Shannon, he asked about our splits, which we already covered. Alex,
we're grinding. We're fucking grinding.
Alex Monin asked if we can dunk. Shit, I wish I could dunk. I'm close, but
dude, my verts are like, I think you guys been seeing me jump over shit all the time.
Oh, you've been jumping out of the fucking gym.
Dude, I can almost do a standing. I just started, practicing it again, but right around 60 inches, I can stand there and jump straight up ish. Dunk, I used to be able to do a volleyball. I mean,
yeah, I could do that, but
I get ooped to dunk back in the day. Like
for real?
2 years ago, probably. So like if someone threw it up, it was almost like I just like tapped it in. It was like I was
I gotcha.
My elbow was in the rim. Now I've been practicing jumping a little bit more. I could probably put one down here in the next month or two. I'm 5'6", 5'7". I'm
That's
short.
legit as fuck, dude.
So like I'm like some Spud Webb shit.
I think if I trained for it, I probably could, and it would have to be from the left side. Like I can only get it or I get close from coming from the left side and jumping off of my left foot. If I'm on the right side, I don't know, it just fucks with me. Like my steps are all off. So I think potentially if I trained for it, I could. But I mean, I got other things on my mind than dunking as of right now.
Yeah, me too. But I like the question.
For sure. No, I like it as well. We got another question from Brian Shannon. He said, if looking to add muscle and lose fat, how necessary is it to adhere to specific bulking and cutting phases? I've never been big into like the quote unquote bulking. I think it's just an excuse to eat like shit and put on a bunch of weight and be lazy. I think it is important to have more calories. Like you can't be at a calorie deficit and expect to gain muscle and gain weight. So you do have to add some more calories in it and some more food. But I think the whole quote unquote bulking thing is bullshit. You don't need to become a fat fucking lard in the off season. And it's going to make your cut,
lazy.
yeah, it's going to make your cut way, way more miserable and way longer. So for me, I like to stay somewhat lean. Like I said, I'm trying to put on a little bit of weight right now, to whereas my lifts are a little bit better and I feel better in the gym. I don't feel beat up all the time, but I'm still trying to keep it in range of where my weight will be at for my shoots, because it'll only take me 5 or 6 weeks to cut, relative to if I put on a bunch of weight, it would take me 10, 12 weeks to cut. So why the fuck would I want to have to lose all that weight? So for me, I don't buy into that. Go ahead.
Dude, I'm right with you, man. So if you're trying to put on some, being in the powerlifting world, it's kind of like the bigger, the better kind of thing. But you see these guys like Dan Green, who looks like a bodybuilder, who are put up the best numbers, right? It's they're eating clean, but a lot more.
Yep.
So if you do want to, quote unquote, bulk, I would just recommend eating more meals. If you eat 4 eggs in the morning, eat 10. Like literally, just like you have to eat to get bigger. That's a given.
Yeah.
But eat clean and get bigger. Like, yeah, you might put on a little bit extra, but as long as your workouts are intense, you're throwing some HIIT training every once in a while, you might throw a layer of fat on, but it's not going to be the same as if you're eating Big Macs and doing the normal person's. In wintertime, I'm bulking. Like,
my carb life, for example. And
yeah, don't be
guys,
doing that 4 times a day.
touching on the carb life, like, I'm really only doing that right now just because I'm in between shoots, and I know that I only have a small, basically, frame of time where I can do this. Coming off the next shoot, I'll still do like a small carb life meal every night, but it's not going to nearly be like it is now. It'll be, and also 99% of my meals are clean as fuck. Like during the day, I'm not eating anything like that. It's all very, very clean. Lots of veggies, a shitload of veggies, some meat, some nuts, some avocado, stuff like that. So what
But you can definitely
Instagram,
tell. You can definitely tell, man. Like, you're not going to look like Jay and eat carb life all day every day.
For sure. All right. Let's see. Moving on. Colin P. He's got a couple questions here. Let's see what his last name. Colin Payne. Shout out. Jay, have you always woken up early? If not, how do you train your body to do it? No, I fucking hated waking up early until I met Corey. I'm still, man, I kind of got to force it from time to time. Like, I'll wake up and I'll just want to sleep. I'll go through phases of being a morning person and not being a morning person. But for me, it's just most efficient to get up and work out in the morning. It starts off the day right for me. So not necessarily a morning person. I'll go through phases, but I just know that it's best for me. Zach, are you a morning person?
Yeah, I'm, I guess, not really necessarily a morning person. I wake up hyped to achieve my, try to conquer some goals and different things. But it is hard to get up sometimes, and I don't always hit on this. But I do. There are times where I sleep in and stuff, and my body really needs it. It's not because I'm being lazy. It's simply because I feel like I'm, either getting sick.
You gotta listen to your body.
Yeah, I listen to my body. So majority of the time I'm waking up early, but there are some times I'm not. I think the best way to just make sure you're just getting up every morning. A few tricks of the trade. I set quite a few alarms, and I'm not about hitting the snooze button. But there's been times I've literally just slept an hour through, like just through alarm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I also set my alarm. I'll set my cell phone alarm, and I have an alarm that goes in the wall, an old school one. And I have to get up and get to it to shut it off. So once you get yourself out of bed, then you get your frame of mind, okay, it's time to fuck this day up, time to win the day.
Get a little bit of caffeine in you.
Yeah. Start chugging some coffee.
Stimulants, for sure. And then he asked, what do you think is the most up-and-coming aspect of fitness right now? Powerlifting, Olympic, wellness. I think wellness in general is definitely up-and-coming. Like, in general, people want to become more healthy, even though fast food's popping up more and more and yada, yada, yada. But I think the whole wellness thing's going to really become prominent. But there's always going to be a space for everything. CrossFit's become big, but there's still a huge space for bodybuilding. There's still a huge space for powerlifting. There's always going to be space for everything.
Yeah, powerlifting's doing a lot of great things. Powerlifting right now, they're working more towards cash prizes and things. And powerlifting is growing. The USPA is really playing a good role in that. But fitness in general it's a good time to get in fitness right now. People are wanting to live a healthy lifestyle, and more people are. So jump in the mix. Not that we hit it right now and necessarily we're the first to achieve it, but with the, in the next 5 years, it's really going to be, more and more people getting healthy. You have more of these, healthy grocery stores and grocery marts popping up left and right. And a lot of it out west and more coming back east. So jump in it right now. I think everything's going to be on the rise.
Yep. And then another question from Colin. He asked about creatine. What are your thoughts and experiences with creatine? Zach, you're fuck with
Dude,
creatine?
a little bit. Nothing, dude. Supplements, I'm not consistent. The only supplements I'm consistent on is a pre-workout and a post-workout, like a
Yep.
BCA.
Exactly.
I drink BCAs. For meats, every once in a while, I take a fat burner.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the only two. I'm just not. My experience with it has been like not consistent, so I can't even give you a quality answer with it. I think it was going to put on a little bit of size, but I don't even hit on things that don't work. You know, even though I was a rep for Muscle Farm, I don't hit on things that I don't really do. So
yeah,
that's
no,
my
I
thing.
completely agree with that, man. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like, I haven't messed with creatine enough, like consistently, and track the results enough to be able to speak on it. I mean, the science shows that it works, but the science shows a lot of shit that works. But I think it comes down to there are, like you said, pre-workout, post-workout. Protein shakes are good every now and then as like a meal replacement if that's what you want to do, but I think it all comes down to your quality of your training, quality of your nutrition, and then you can start thinking about supplements. If all your shit's not dialed in nutrition-wise and training-wise, you don't need to be fucking with supplements. It's a waste of your money. You need to get everything dialed in first. It's going to help you. That's why it's called a supplement. It's definitely going to help. Yeah, it's going to help raise your game, but you got to get everything else dialed in as well. So yeah, there are benefits to supplements. The whole creatine thing, like I said, I just don't have enough experience with it to really
let me hit
speak
real
on
quick on this, just so it's never a future question. People tell me all the time, I'm getting ready to get back in the gym. What kind of protein should I get? I'm like, eggs, chicken.
Yeah.
Dude, guys, the first thing, if you're just now starting your fitness journey, whatever, eat food first. Then worry about supplements. Worry about supplements 6 months down the road. You know, as long as you're eating correctly, that's A.
Yep.
You know, then worry about B later.
The fat burner thing, Kyle actually was asking me about it in the gym this week. Like, he's 16 years old, and I mean, he's not shredded, but he's not fat at all, obviously, and he could lose a couple pounds if he wanted to lean out a little bit. But I'm like, dude, you don't need to be worried about fat burners. Like, the only time I'll ever take a fat burner is when I'm 5 weeks out from my shoot and I have to drop the last extra bit of fat. Like, sometimes your body will really resist those. Once you get under 10% body fat, it's super fucking hard to get down to 8%. So sometimes you need that extra push. But other than that, though, never, ever would I use a fat burner just on a regular basis. Like, it's just not necessary. So that is that. Blaze, my boy, he came and trained at Old School a couple weeks ago. He said, when you guys were children, like ages 5 to 10, what superheroes did you look up to?
I mean, I didn't.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
I didn't look up to super. Man, it's like I never really looked up. Like I said this before, we're talking about inspiration and different things. I just never really looked up to anybody. Like I've always been my own. I've been dealt with a lot of different situations in my life too, but I've always just looked up to myself because I realized like I was dealt with some tough situations that I've made it through. So I'm like, hey, these guys are no different than me. Like these storybook stories, and you know, and everybody likes the underdog stories. I've lived that story, so I've kind of just always looked up. I never looked up to like a fake figure, and I've never been like if I'm in a room with someone famous, Brad Pitt. It's not like I'm like, oh my God, there's Brad Pitt. I'm gonna be like, if he comes by and says hi to me, I'll say hi to him. Like I don't care to talk to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
cool movies, but yeah.
For sure. Make yourself your own fucking superhero, man. Like, I don't know. I've never been into it either. If anything, I looked up to athletes growing up. Like, it was always cool. You know what I mean? Like, watching, like, LeBron and all those dudes. Like, holy shit, these guys are pretty cool. But it was never to that level that some people really look. I don't know. Gary Vee's the same way, man. He's like, I do my own thing. I don't really follow anyone else. I've never really had any... He never really had any mentors. I think mentors are key, but it kind of goes back to everyone's different. Everyone learns different ways. If anything, man, Corey, I've looked up to. You know what I mean? I would say,
Corey's basically my first mentor too. Like I never really had no mentors.
100%.
Really, the one guy that kind of mentored me a little bit, he just got out of prison. He was in prison. He just got out of prison. Like he mentored me in the gym a little bit. So he taught me that little fire you guys see in me, which is not the person. I'm not like I'm all the time like fuck screaming crazy, going nuts. I am in the gym, but he brought some of that fire out of me. So I'm glad that guy was in my life for a little while.
I would say fuck superheroes. Find some mentors that are going to help you elevate your game and get you to where you want to be. But that caps up our social media questions. Zach, you got anything else, brother? I know we're about an hour and a half in. Like I said, it's a little bit more long form, which I enjoyed personally. We'll see what the kind of feedback we get from the listeners is. But
dude, I thought this was great. I thought it was real in depth. I thought we covered everyone's stuff real well, everyone's questions. Had a lot of fun on the FireCast, like I always do.
Motherfucking FireCast.
Hell yeah, I'm ready to wrap it up, Jay. I'm gonna bang out some stuff. I got what is today? Friday. I'm gonna squat today.
Oh shit! I'm about to knock out some content. I gotta finish up an article. I got a couple other things in the works. But yeah, man, we appreciate everyone listening, everyone tuning in. Again, give us feedback. This is for you guys. So anything that you guys want to hear, anything that you think we can get better at,
keep the engagement rolling. We love it. We love the engagement, guys.
100%. If you guys like the podcast, give us a 5-star rating on iTunes. Subscribe on YouTube. Like it. Subscribe to our YouTube. Zach and I are going to get together in a few weeks and pump out some other content for the YouTube page. Until next time. Until episode 4. Stay grinding. Stay hustling. Stay hungry.
Stay winning, baby. Stay winning.
Peace.
Later, Jay.